Welcome back, everyone, to SFC Live here on the gantry inside the Stadium of Light. Sunderland won 1-0 against AFC Wimbledon. Danny, it was an odd game, really. It was a good game, a different kind of game to what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, I think over the course of the 90 minutes, we weren't perhaps at our best. A little bit loose, a little bit sloppy at times on the ball. But we just tidied up for that 10-15 minutes in the second half, I thought, and got on the front foot. Wimbledon didn't really offer much going forward. And then we get the goal, and I just said there, the goal almost summed the performance up, really. It wasn't a clean strike from Winchester, but he took a touch. No one closed him down, had another touch, and got the strike away. Caught it fairly well. Takes a deflection off one of the Wimbledon lads, and it flies in that bottom corner, and that's enough to win us the game. And as we said there, sometimes we probably created better chances on Tuesday night at Burton, come away with no points. Today weren't quite at our best, win the game 1-0.
Yeah, very interesting. Let's have a look through the highlights then, and you can talk us through the action as well, Danny, if you wouldn't mind. First half action.
Yeah, I think Lyndon Gooch really at times, he was getting into good areas. Similar for McGeady, both had perhaps a little bit of a frustrating afternoon, to be honest, and some things came off for them and some things didn't. And I thought Dan Neil was excellent again, you know, being asked to go out and play at left back. I've enjoyed watching him in midfield, but he went out to left back, and I thought he was excellent again. He had one here though, he has a bit of a flash at one, and it's their best opportunity really from open play, wasn't it? You know, other than the set play, what we'll see later on. We found it difficult to play through them, I'd say. They were quite narrow and compact. They had a back four today. I think gone back to a back four.
Do you think they came up here to get a point? They would have said the point was going to be a good job because there were 6 changes. They weren't playing the normal formation.
Yeah, we were surprised that they made so many changes. They'd had a good start, you know, 1 win and 2 draws in their first 3 games. I think they've come up here expecting us to have the majority of possession, and which we obviously did. But they defended well. I thought the 2 fullbacks were done well in 1v1 situations up against Gooch and McGeady. And then I think this one here, it's Embleton that picks it up. Big switch out to this right-hand side. You see Gooch now. He stands a lovely little ball up, and Dan Neil arriving at the far post. So you've got your left back getting in there. And I don't think Dan's fully committed, whether he thought the defender was going to get a little bit on it, but he almost turtlenecks it, and it just loops over the bar. I think Luke O'Nien at times, he made some good crunching tackles in the middle of the pitch, and then it gives you the licence. If he's doing that job, you've got Embleton and you've got Pritchard in there, who their role is obviously to create stuff for us. But we did find it difficult. That one there, I say Ross Stewart, ball comes to him, it is quite tight. I think the fullback's on him by the time he has a touch. And then this one right at half-time, wasn't it? In-swinger from Elliot Embleton. And then Dan Neil just trying to get across the goalkeeper, can't get a touch on it. So first half was a lot of huff and puff, wasn't it, really, for us? We did have the majority of possession, but we found it difficult to create that one clear-cut chance in that first half. And this one there, see, that's what I mean. Luke O'Nien, he makes a great challenge in there. Lyndon Gooch is driving. Start the second half, and Ross Stewart, that one chance he's been looking for. He's 17, 18 yards out. He's looking for the bottom corner, and the keeper makes a good save. And I think this one, Aidan McGeady, this is the one, wasn't it? Yeah, with Nightingale. McGeady just trying to stand it up far post there. Got 2 lads arriving, and Nightingale just manages to get a touch on the ball and puts the pair of them off. Embleton, good strike. Keeper forced into a save. And then I think this is the goal now from the corner. It comes out to Winchester. And as I said, look, he takes a touch, no one pressing, another touch, strikes it, and it takes a nick.
Definitely comes up, doesn't it?
And I think if it doesn't take a nick, I don't think it's on target, because that nick takes it towards goal, and obviously it comes off the foot of the post. But you ask Winchester, he's going to claim that. This one here, Broadhead, is free in the middle, can't get a touch on it. Comes to Doyle, he's trying to scramble it home, and the keeper makes a save, and they scramble it clear. This is Stewart, isn't it? Just look at Lyndon Gooch. Just rolled it to him there now, and he's free. And Ross Stewart looking for a little bit of glory, isn't he? Dribbling across the box, doesn't open up for him. And that's the one there I was meaning with Patterson coming from the set play. He's never getting there. He caught in no man's land. Headers on target, and I think Sirkin manages to help him out there. And then right at the end here, they're pushing on. They're chucking balls in the box. Ball drops down. Palmer glancing whether it's on target or not, I'm not sure, but overall you see Wimbledon's chances there, very little. Ourselves, we haven't perhaps worked their goalkeeper enough, but we've just done enough to get over the line. And the most pleasing point to come out of today, is we finally put an end to the lack of clean sheets. 17 games without one. Nice to get the clean sheet on the board.
Well remembered, Danny. Of course, we said it at half-time. We got a clean sheet. If anything, of course, that's a positive as well to get out the game. And if anything, the best players on the park for Sunderland was that back line.
I'd say so, yeah. We've just been discussing before we've come back on it who were the standouts for us, really. And you go across the back line for me. I think Flanagan, again, was excellent. I think he's been good in the last few games. Doyle alongside him, some of those raking crossfield passes he hit. You know, he's confident in his all-round play. Dan Neil playing at left-back, again, solid at left-back, goes into midfield. But I think if we had to nitpick and give a man a match out of those back lads, I'd probably go for Winchester. He's had that defining moment in the game where he's contributed to.
And there was a couple of moments as well. You think he looks a yard faster than last season as well, don't you?
It's where it's come from. I don't remember that burst of pace he had. We've seen that 1 second off on the far side where he
got round
all that
Hartigan,
confidence to knock it past his man, and he tried to burst past him on that far side. And all round generally, he just looks confident, joining in play. You know, good ball there. He stands up to the far post. You're looking for someone coming in at that far post there. You know, McGeady, you can see he's come narrow. But every time the ball's going out to Gooch or whoever's playing it, he's bombing forward.
There's one of those underlaps he did as well. He wasn't just overlapping, he was underlapping, he was supporting on the right-hand side, right up into the touchline.
He just looks full of energy out there, and he knows Huggins is coming in now, who is a full-back. He'll be looking at pushing him for his place. And you see the strike there, whether or not it's on target. We haven't got the camera angle from behind the goal. And this one comes to him again. And you can hear everyone in the grounds giving it the shoot because he's had the one for the goal.
He's going to get that forever.
And his confidence is up at this point in the game. And there he goes again. That's the one I was mentioning there. He's knocked it past.
Afterburners are on there,
he's putting the burners on. And where that's come from, I'm not too sure. He's had a good off-season, I think. And he's
had his Weetabix.
He's in there and he looks confident.
Yeah, really good game for Carl Winchester. You're man of the match. He did pick up that. He did concede that foul at the end. He managed to remain without getting a yellow card though, and 4 players, well 3.
Yeah, you see that one there. He just gets blocked off, and he plays the ball into Lyndon Gooch, just looking for the give and go. But overall, yeah, across the back, lads, you know, we give credit in the middle of the park that Embleton was busy and bright at times, trying to get on the ball, trying to make things happen. But as an attacking threat overall over the 90, we weren't quite at it. That's where you need your back line. Once you've got that goal, you need your back line to be stand up and be counted for, and that's what they were today. Good solid 8 out of 10s, a lot of them back there. And then when we got that goal, we didn't look too nervy in that last 10. You know, we've seen it before, haven't we? MK Dons, we dropped a little bit deep. You know, Bailey Wright comes on making up a back line, back 5. And then do we drop or do we get pushed up? And then you need the rest of the lads to be tidy on the ball. And we did. We've seen the game out in the proper way today for me. Against Wigan, we got a little bit nervy. They started throwing balls in. And yes, they chucked 1 or 2 in towards the end, but we looked quite solid throughout there in that last 10-15 where when we weren't hanging on, we weren't looking nervy. Couldn't really feel it in the ground today. We've seen the game out well, and we looked after the ball better than what we have done previously.
Thanks, Danny. Let's have a look at the other scores from in and around EFL League One, if we can, please. It's be interesting. I haven't seen these all afternoon. Rotherham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Bolton 2, Oxford United 1, Cambridge 3, Burton 0, Charlton 0, Wigan 2, Crewe 0, Accrington Stanley 1, Doncaster 0, Portsmouth 0. What's next? Fleetwood 3, Cheltenham 2, Gillingham 2, Morecambe 1, Ipswich 2, MK Dons 2, Shrewsbury 0, Plymouth 3, Wycombe 1, Lincoln 0. Some interesting scorelines there, Danny.
Yeah, interesting ones. Wycombe winning again. Portsmouth winning. Portsmouth a 4th clean sheet, but I think that's 2 0-0s they've had. I could be wrong. Sheffield Wednesday, have had a 0-0 in their clean sheets. And again, they've had 4 clean sheets now, and a good result for them against the Rotherham team, who you'd expect to be in and amongst it. But again, just having a look at Ipswich, struggling, aren't they? 2-2 again. That's 2 points out of 4 games for them. But from our point of view, we've done our job today, and we'll see the table in a minute.
Let's have a look at it then. Sunderland up to 5th in the division, only 1 point behind the top 3.
Yeah, and then on next 2 fixtures again, that said it was vital that we managed to pick up the 3 points here today after the disappointing result in the week, because we know we've got Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday next. Again, there's talk about the Sheffield Wednesday game getting moved, I think, through internationals, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Portsmouth in there amongst it. They've had 4 clean sheets. Sheffield Wednesday 4 clean sheets, and that's what you see. That's what does for you. From our point of view, great to get one up on the board. but more importantly, we managed to get that goal.
Yes, thank you, Danny. What we'll do is we'll have a quick break and then we'll come back and have your hashtag Ask Danny's, where we will be debating anything you want to discuss from this afternoon's action. Welcome back to SAFC Live in the post-game programme. We're going to get your thoughts now in hashtag Ask Danny. Let's have the first one on screen and we can discuss it for you here. From the gantry inside the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland have beaten AFC Wimbledon by 1-0. And this is from Glenn, who says, do you agree that Dan Neil's potential, that means he could reach the very top? I think I might have read that wrong. I can't see it. It's miles away. Hopefully with SAFC, of course.
Does he agree Dan Neil's got the potential to go all the way? I think, certainly, he's 19-year-old. He's inexperienced. He's finding his way in the game. But from what I've seen of him last season, I said about Dan, I liked him. I like the way he plays above his years as well. We've said it about Callum Doyle.
He can play, can't he, Dan Neil?
He's a player, yeah. He'll receive the ball in tight situations. His first thought is, as the ball's coming into him, he's always on the, he's got that vision. He's looking for the pass. He's got a picture of what's going on around him. And his first thought is, can I play through the lines when I receive the ball?
He uses his body so well, doesn't he?
Gets his body in well, he does, yeah. And again, he's going to, the experience of playing in there, we've seen him today. He's played at left back and he looks comfortable playing there. I don't want to see him playing there too often.
No.
You want to see him playing in centre of midfield, where we've seen him pre-season, where we've seen last week MK Dons for that goal, what he set up for Embleton. The ball comes at him with pace. He's got that picture, quick, fires the ball into Embleton. 2-1, wins us the game. Again, we seen him last year. I keep going back to when we seen him in the car park and he was frustrated. He wasn't getting game time. We said, "Are you all right, Dan?" And he sort of puffed his cheeks and he was a little bit frustrated. Now he's getting in there. Now he feels like a first-team player. And I think it's hard for Lee Johnson at this moment in time to leave him out of that team. He's got, for me, one of the first names on the team sheet. Wherever he's playing, really, in the middle of the park, whether it's a 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a 2, he's got the ability for me to play as the sitter, or because he likes to go and take it off the centre half, as we've seen in the week at Burton. In that first half, he was receiving it off Doyle, Flanagan, and getting us moving. Can he go all the way? I'd love to see him stay here. I'm sure he would love to stay at Sunderland and go up through the leagues and get the opportunity to play for Sunderland in the Premier League. But yeah, on early signs and what I've seen of Dan so far, I certainly think, of course, he can go all the way.
Thanks, Danny. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is just a shout-out. Give us a shout-out from Australia for the Sundo boys.
Well, good eye in Australia.
Excellent stuff.
Not sure what time of day it is over there. I think they're
ahead, aren't they?
13 hours ahead, or it's like pretty much.
So they knew we were winning 1-0 ages ago.
Yeah, so I think are they not 4 in the morning or something? So yeah,
dedication.
Fair play if they've been up during the middle of the night watching the game, but worth it in the end.
Yes, thank you. This one is from Brian. Been a few years since we've had a strong bench as we have today, Danny. Got that good feeling again. Hats off to Johnson and Speakman. From Brian, watching in Baku. They're watching all over the world this afternoon.
In Baku, yeah. He's not a Welsh fan from the Euros been left out there, is he? But no, he's right. And we were looking at the bench as well before the game, just seeing that the strength, and we've got options on the bench as well. And that's what you need throughout the course of the 46 games in terms of the league. But then you've got the Papa Johns, we've got the EFL Trophy, the league, the FA Cup. You're looking at 50 games plus for the season, so you need that strength and depth. And we've seen Wigan, we've seen Ipswich, MK Dons, a few coming off the top, man. A lot of teams, 9-10 signings in through the doors. And people have questioned what was happening with us. We've only signed 2 or 3, and we're going into the start of the season in low in terms of numbers and that depth. But now we've seen in the last week or two, Broadhead's come in, Huggins has come in yesterday. We are adding numbers, and I'm sure there may be another 1 or 2 to join the ranks before the window closes. And we're going to need that throughout the season, and that's what you need: strength in depth, competition for places. I said it the other week, Sunderland in League One, we should have one of the strongest squads in the league. Not just your starting 11 and you're hoping that, say when we've had 1 or 2 injuries, we haven't had the depth in the past, and you've had lads coming into the squad where hopefully they can see us through until your strongest lads back from fitness, from injury, and they're back to full fitness. So looking at the bench today, you've got Alves who hasn't had a run out yet. He's only been here. He'll be looking at pushing the lads for getting a start. These lads might get a run out in the week in the cup. I'd imagine they will. Lee Johnson will bring the changes again, I'd imagine, like he did at Port Vale. And it's good that he can now almost relax in a way and use it as a free hit to get some of these lads up to speed for some game time.
Okay, Danny, let's move on to the next one. This one is from Katie, who says, where is Denver Hume? When's he signing? We miss him.
It's a good question. It's been ongoing for some time now, hasn't it? And it's obviously we've brought Sirkin in. I don't know what's going on with Denver, if we're honest. I believe, and just what I'm hearing, seeing on social media and in the press, that the offer that's been put forward to Denver is his final offer, and now it's up for him to make a decision. I think he's not far off from returning to training, I believe. So he's got a big decision to make. Does he want to stay here? Does he want to be a part of it? If that's his final offer, then is he accepting it or is he not? Is he still chatting with his agent? What's he seeing there? Is there still offers from other clubs for him? I don't know that. But yeah, Denver needs to make a decision in the next couple of weeks for me, certainly. Because if he doesn't commit to signing, then are we still going to be looking at bringing another left back in? Yes, we've got Sirkin come in. Huggins has come in, but I still feel that, yeah, we've got Dan Neil and we've got Winchester that can do a job there, but I'm sure they're looking at getting another recognised full-back in. So Denver needs to make a decision for me.
Okay, thanks, Danny. Let's move on to this next one. This will be number 4, Red and White Haddock, who says, Winchester had a great game, done well in all the games so far. Do you think he's going to be our first choice right back this season, even though it's not his preferred position? Well, we saw it with Luke O'Nien last season. Yeah,
we did, yeah, and it's an interesting one for Lee Johnson. Where does he see Carl Winchester at? Does he want to leave him in the squad, leave him in that starting 11 you go off today? He was one of the star men out there today for us. Solid, part of a clean sheet.
He obviously wants to be part of this squad as well, just playing really well in that position.
Yeah.
Just, Dan Neil playing really well in his unorthodox position. People wanting to play for the shirt. It's good for the fans. They love it, don't they?
Of course it is as well. And they've come in as well. Huggins has come in. Sirkin's come in. They're going to be pushing, coming in from clubs higher, higher in terms of where they come from Tottenham and from Leeds. So they're coming in and they're trying to get into this starting 11 as soon as they can. It's what you do as a club. It's a team game, but at the end of the day, you're pushing for one of those starting 11 shirts as soon as you can, really. But you're looking at Winchester today. If Lee Johnson's not going to keep him in at full back, is he going to look to move him into midfield? Then you've got Luke O'Nien, you've got Dan Neil in there, you've got competition for places in there. That's what we need. This is a good problem for Lee Johnson to have when everybody's fit. He's also getting the benefit of seeing the lads in training day to day as well. We're only getting to see, like the fans, the 90 minutes on a Saturday. But as well, for me, it's what goes in on training day to day, those 3-4 sessions the lads are having on the training pitch. How are they training? What is the effort they're putting in? Some managers, I'm not saying put it to side. They think, oh, well, he might not be a good trainer, but I still want him out there on a Saturday, where you get other managers who pick their team off what goes on the training pitch. And I get the impression Carl Winchester is one of those who trains like he plays on a Saturday as well.
Okay, let's move on to, I think, which might be the final one here on hashtag Ask Danny. From Dave. He says, is McGeady not playing as well as last year? Or is it the others around him that are now able to play forward attacking passes? So have become less reliant on McGeady. It was a frustrating afternoon for Aidan this afternoon.
It was, yeah, and I think if we're looking at him so far this season, we know the impact he had last season, coming back into the team after being out so long under Phil Parkinson. He hit the ground running when he came back into the team. He was out the squad for a year. And then you've seen the immediate impact he had, in supply line for Charlie White, just his general play. It was like a breath of fresh air coming into the team. Now, I know there's whispers that he's had a bit of an ankle injury. I think he missed the last couple of pre-season games. He didn't play against Hull, did he? I think he had an injury with his foot.
It was an injection or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so whether he's still feeling that or not, but if we're looking at it, does he look like he's up to 100% speed? Perhaps not. But when Aidan McGeady's in the team, he has got that little bit of magic in him, so you can see why Lee Johnson wants him out there. Today, he had a frustrating afternoon. A lot of things he tried perhaps didn't come off for him. He stood a good ball up second half, didn't he, where he got half a yard, just that far post where Nightingale got a flick on it. So he does affect games, McGeady, but you can see he got frustrated as well today when things weren't quite coming off for him. But, with Aidan, he isn't going to shirk away. He's going to keep plugging away. He'll get back to the training this week, and he'll want to be out there on a Saturday. But you can see, when we just go back to the strength and depth in the squad, if Lee Johnson feels that maybe it's right for him to take Aidan out of the starting 11 and maybe have a look at, you've seen Pritchard coming in today. You've got Broadhead, who can perhaps play in a wide space. You've got Aidan O'Brien. You've got Josh Hawkes, who's played out there and he's done well against Port Vale. So you've got lads who are knocking at the door looking for a shirt. and competition for places is key. Whether that be Aidan McGeady or anybody else out on the park, that's how it should be at Sunderland Football Club.
Thanks, Danny, as ever, for your thoughts this afternoon. Now, the next SAFC Live will be on Saturday the 28th, back here on the gantry against Wycombe Wanderers. We won't be able to bring you coverage on Tuesday evening. Sunderland are in action, though, in the EFL Cup away at Blackpool. I don't think anyone's allowed to watch that unless you've got a ticket. So we'll be back here on Saturday the 28th here on SAFC Live. Thanks for joining us this afternoon around the world here on SAFC Live. For myself and Danny, it's good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.